You only have a minute. Only 60 seconds in it. You didn't seek it, you didn't choose it, but it's up to you to use it. You must suffer if you lose it. Give account if you abuse it. It's just a tiny little minute. But your eternity is in it.
Good evening, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to another episode of A Word with Pastor Webb. I'm your host, Pastor Webb, and we have a very special guest tonight. We have Deric Feacher, the city manager of Haines City, Florida. Please help me to salute and celebrate my brother and friend, Dr. Feacher.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing, Doc?
Oh, I'm glad to be here on your show with you, probably the best show in America. So I'm glad that you invited me to be a guest.
Yes, sir. How was your ride?
Good. Everything was good, man. Just enjoying myself getting over here. First time in your studio, your sanctuary studio, and it's a marvelous facility. Your staff has been great, so I'm ready to go. I might have to take some of your staff on the road with me.
Appreciate that, Doc. Now, what's your story? Tell me how you grew up.
Very good life, but sometimes some challenging things. Raised by a single mom. My mom raised 3 boys by herself. I'm a twin. My twin brother is Rick Ross. That's what he looks like. We're totally different, but we communicate every day. But my childhood, growing up, I had educators in the public school system telling me that I'll never be able to make it. I had a perceived learning disability. Notice I said perceived learning disability, that they thought that I would not be able to read and write and comprehend to the best of my ability. But my mom refused. She refused to allow for individuals in my middle school years and high school to put me in those special education classes, because my mom knew something was great for me. And I just had some great teachers, man, to be perfectly honest, that said, we're going to take stock in you, look at your value. And, there was never a full-time man in my house until my mom got married while I was in college. Wow. So that tells you she raised 3 boys. We're all men with families, kids, and doing very well. But, that the perception was that I wouldn't be where I am today, that I would not be, running a municipal corporation, managing budgets of 100 million to 64 million to 200 million, 400 and some employees, and I'm here from Florence Villa to Bethune Cookman and to Harvard. It's just something you can't even imagine.
Right. Well, why did you choose Bethune Cookman University?
You look at Dr. Bethune, a black woman who people just look at. People say she wasn't the best looking woman, but she had a dream and a vision of raising 5 little girls, faith in God, and $1.50. I look at my mom, not having a lot of money, a black woman, raising 3 boys by herself. And I said, I come from good stock. And that was one of the things that made me go, this is the place to be. And people question, why didn't you go to other schools? When I was, headed to Tallahassee, thinking I'm going to FAMU, and I said to myself, I looked at it and weighed the options, and got a scholarship from W.K. Kellogg's and Southern Scholarship Foundation that paid for my housing, room and board, and so I was good to go, and that's why. And I made the best choice on planet Earth, because you tell me a school founded by a black woman during that time, it's just not there.
Best school in the world.
In the rural.
Just ask me.
Why? What do you know about Bethune Cookman? I know you know some great things about it.
Yes, sir. We'll start right there. Give me 3 words that best describe you, and tell me why.
faith, friendship, and family.
Three F's.
Three F's. And my last name is Feacher. But faith, I believe that there is something greater than me.
Okay.
And there's a God inside of me that helps me to be the best that I can possibly be. And I know that I already know the end from the beginning. So whatever I'm going through, I already know that I'm going to be successful. God says, yea, though I walk through. He didn't tell me to stay there. So my faith is significant to me. Friendship. I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and friendship is essential to the soul. And so I believe that having good friendships helps you to stay grounded in your faith. And my family. Without my wife and son, who would I be? Without my mom and my brothers, who would I be? So I believe that faith, that friendship, and that family helps to connect me. So those are three powerful words that I don't think I can do without in this life. I might as well let the trumpets blow and take my flight.
So faith, family, friendship. Perfect. Why did you choose this profession, to be a city manager?
I've always wanted to be in. When I was in high school in Winter Haven and middle school, Ellie Threkel was the mayor of Winter Haven. And she created through the city, the Youth City Commission. And I got the opportunity to serve as mayor. And I enjoyed it. I thought the mayor had all the power, and I found out that the mayor really don't have all the power in local governments. But she was the mayor. She was running the meetings. She was in control of everything. She was a very powerful person to me. And so I saw her, and I just worked through the process, and I became interested in helping people because she was dedicated to helping people. So I became the youth mayor, and I said to myself that one day I'm going to come back and I'm going to become the mayor. Okay. Or my words were, I'm going to come back and run the city, because I thought she ran the city.
Right.
And I've been in it because I want people to see good, quality, positive individuals in local government.
Right. So explain to me the city manager. What's the role of a city manager?
Okay, look at it from a business perspective, and I know you have an MBA. Think about it. You have the CEO of the company, you have the board of directors or the board of trustees. The city manager, I operate as the chief executive officer, and in our profession, the chief administrative official or officer. I run the day-to-day operations of the government. There's a mayor and commissioners that provide policy.
Right.
That pass policy down, but then there's the staff. I oversee all employees in implementing the policies and the agenda of the city commission, and just really manage the budget and make sure that government continues to run.
So police officers, the firemen?
Fire, parks and rec, garbage, library, HR, people that you pay your water bill, and hopefully you're paying a good water bill.
So they all report up to you?
They all report up to me. And I don't like to say they report to me. I'm currently the captain of the team. Okay. And at any point in time, the captain can be changed. Yeah. And so if I keep that mindset, even though I know that I make all of the decisions going down, if I keep the mindset that I'm the captain, realizing that at any point in time, which has happened in my profession, that there's a new captain that comes in.
Yes.
It makes it better. But then, the captain also has to be a part of the plan. The captain has to work also. When Tampa Bay Bucks go on the field and the captains are out there, they don't just go out and say, I'm the captain, and you go do your job. They have to go back on the field and line up also and be a part of the play.
Right. So how many employees?
And we have about 320 employees.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. And talk about opportunity zones. I hear a lot of governors talking about opportunity. What is the opportunity zone?
Opportunity zones are good, and because opportunity zones help to create synergy and bring economic vitality to communities that are disproportionately filled. When I look around at some of the minority communities, and some of the communities, or even not only minority communities, but some of the downtowns of America's cities that are now the shops have left. The businesses have left. I mean, many years ago, people were going to McCory's and all of that stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah, downtown.
Right.
Those are not downtown anymore. So having an influx of money being to come in through opportunity zones and allow for people to reinvest and not have to pay so many taxes, it helps. And billions upon billions of dollars are coming into certain communities, and people are thriving because they're not having to pay so many taxes or fees and charges to help build up. And I can tell you, probably around this studio, there are opportunities for you and your team to create some opportunity zones to help for you all to change the very fabric of the people's lives that are around your studio and then your community.
So that the money comes from where?
It comes from federal government.
You apply for it, and
yeah, you really apply for opportunity zones, and it gives you tax breaks.
Okay.
But you get funding. You start thinking about not only with opportunity zones, but CRAs, where that money is going back in and doesn't have to go out. It goes back in to help invest in those communities and build up those communities.
Let me stop you. Talk to my audience. CRAs, explain that.
Community Redevelopment Agencies.
Perfect.
You want to have, if possible, the CRAs in your community because the money doesn't go out. When new businesses come in, the money stays there and is reinvested back into the community. And so when you find a CRA, it helps because the money stays there.
Okay.
Because in government, I can tell you, I've worked in it since 2001. We're able to shift money, but when it comes to CRAs, the money has to be shifted in the community in which the business starts. So when a new restaurant, a new house, a new development comes in that community, the money stays in that community until that CRA sunsets, which a lot of times you don't. And I've seen it in the city of Haines City where it was a CRA, where it's just vacant land.
Right.
And now you've got, $400 to $1 million homes on some of that property. And that money means it's invested back so you improve the infrastructure, the roads, the transportation, the parks and rec space, public safety is all improved right in that neighborhood.
All right. Perfect, man. Perfect. Now, what is the one thing you know now you wish you knew when you was 18 years old?
I don't know if there's anything that I wish I would have known now. Maybe I would have, 18, I don't think, maybe if I was 22 or 23, maybe I would have just gone straight to DC and just, Baltimore area and worked in Congress.
Right, right.
But other than that, I had a good life in that regards, and so I didn't do anything too bad. Too bad.
Too bad. Okay. Now I know that you are a motivational speaker. What advice would you give the young people who need to build their confidence?
The only one that knows that you are afraid is you. People don't know you're afraid until you open your mouth.
My Jesus.
People don't know that you can't accomplish something until you start speaking. People don't know that you can't do something until you say you can't do it. So the advice I give to young people, not only young people, but to everybody is, nobody knows what your fears are. Nobody knows what your inhibitions are. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
No, but you and God. And sometimes God is trying to figure out, what are you afraid of? Because through him,
there it is.
All things are possible.
Yes.
If he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it.
Yes.
And so those are things I tell people. When you open your mouth, that's when the problem comes. If you're not prepared for what's coming out.
Right. Now, Doc, I know you're a motivational speaker, and I done heard you hit that 1 minute speech several times. Can you do it one time quickly?
Oh, you're talking about the Benjamin Elijah Mays, former president of the Morehouse College,
yes, sir.
And was a great Omega man. He says, you only have a minute, only 60 seconds in it. You didn't seek it, you didn't choose it, but it's up to you to use it. You must suffer if you lose it. Give account if you abuse it. It's just a tiny little minute, but your eternity is in it. And I'm telling you, everything we do, we just got a minute. So I try my best to make sure each minute count. You think about this, though. There are a couple things that you can't take back. The spoken word, the done deed, and the missed opportunity. You can say something that can either help you or hurt you, or you can say something to help or hurt somebody else.
Amen.
So be careful with your speech, because you can't take the spoken word back.
Amen.
The done deed, you do it and it's done. No matter how many times you want to ask for forgiveness, how many times you want people to correct it, you apologize, you're sorry, the done deed is done.
Amen.
So make sure when you do something, you understand what can come after that.
Amen.
The missed opportunity. I don't miss any opportunities, no matter what, because once you miss it, it's done. Now, who's to say that you get another chance to do something, but the opportunity has passed, and that might have been the opportunity that propelled you forward, but because of your playing around and thinking small, you missed it. So those are the three things in that minute. The spoken word, the done deed, missed opportunity. You got a minute, man. Only 60 seconds in it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose, but it's up to you to use it. I'm not going to suffer because I'm not going to lose it.
Yes.
It's just a tiny little minute, but I know my eternity is all up in that minute. It's in there.
Yes, sir, Doc. I love it. I love it. Now, Doc, What has been your biggest challenge as a city manager? As a black man?
Oh yeah, I'll say starting off early. I was very young as a city manager,
Right.
and I'm young now. But the gray beard, I had David Green, who hired me in Winter Haven. He said you can't lose the beard. He thought when he hired me that I was older than what I was when he promoted me. He didn't know he was bringing in, a 31, 32-year-old to be in charge of people who had been there for 20, 30 years,
Yes,
and
sir.
had a 60, 70, and don't look like me.
Yes.
And the biggest challenge I face is people trying to figure out, why were you the chosen one? Why were you the one that was selected to be his assistant? Why were you the one? You don't even have the skill sets. You haven't been here long enough. People will minimize and marginalize what they think you have, not knowing what you have. And they didn't know what I had. And that's the problem. See, it's like a box, a present with a bow on it. I don't need a box and a bow anymore. I am the present. I am the gift that keeps on giving. But it's not an ego thing. It is that I know that I've been prepared and that I'm a child of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
And I can do anything. And the only reason they know if I can't do it is what? If I say it and I open my mouth.
Wow. Wow.
So I refuse, even when I don't know. I fail to articulate for the fear I may deviate. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to do what I can do. And what I can't do, you'll have to figure it out with me trying to do it.
Amen. Amen. Well, Doc, since you said that, what role has God played in your success?
It is the ultimate success tool. I know that every door that opens for me, God had a hand in it. I know that every door closes. God has a hand in it. And when you're able for doors to close and it don't make you have sleepless nights,
My Jesus.
you're having a good thing. And I'll tell you why. I'm making $130,000. Get an evaluation, 3.4, 3.5 out of 4. I get a new commissioner comes on to the commission and says he doesn't like me anymore, don't think I need to be here. Now, just a month earlier, got above average, making $140,000. Everybody in the city of Winter Haven came out, 148 people, saying, why are we terminating him? What has he done? What's wrong with you? And they terminated me. Hadn't done anything wrong. But in my profession, I'm the captain for a moment. Hadn't done anything. The president of the college came and spoke. The president of the Chamber of Commerce, the president of the local banks, the chair of the EDC, the chair of the chamber, citizens, ministers, white, black, Jew, Gentile, Protestant, Catholic, probably even some atheists were in the building. And they spoke saying why. And when all it said is done, the words I said, nothing else. And people are still shocked to this day that how could I say, I said, when one door closes, another door opens. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve my community. And I took my nice severance check, because it was a nice severance check, and I traveled all over the country. And people were starting to say, well, what you doing? I'm traveling. Well, what you going to do? I'm going to trust God. He said he will never leave me nor forsake me. All of my properties, mortgages were still paid. Never missed a bill, never missed a payment. Still did what we always did, travel. I traveled I went to New York, I went to DC, I went to Philly, I went to Baltimore. I got 10 jobs. And when I was ready, I applied for another job.
And you got it too.
And I got it.
My Jesus.
I got more money.
Come on.
Better opportunity, and people who want to move forward.
Look at God. Look at God.
I know what he can do.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, I just got to get out of the way and let him do it. And so I put my feet up when I wanted to. I took them down and got on a couple of planes, and people thought I was crazy because they're saying you're going to run out of money. But I'm not going to run out of faith.
There it is. Well, you're preaching, boy.
Yeah. Hebrews, if you read the book of Hebrews, it'll tell you. You may not have a dime in your pocket.
Yes, sir.
But God said he'll supply all your needs. He will.
Come on, preacher.
I feel my help coming, but I'm going to leave that to the best pastor around.
Yes, sir, Doc. But, Doc, what is the most proudest moment in your life, the most proudest moment in your life?
The most proudest moment in my life. I've had a couple good moments, but really, to be honest, the proudest thing that's really in my life is that my mom could ask me if she could go to New York, Las Vegas, DC on a cruise to Europe, and she can ask me, could I pay for it? And I don't have to blank, I can pay for it without a problem.
Amen.
That proud moment is knowing that if she asks for something, I'm able to get it. I think about really how in 2001, I'm trying to make sure to budget my money to be able to buy food and milk and all that stuff. And then look at now, I'm able to live in an abundance.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, those are proud moments where you don't have to worry about that and question that.
Wow. Well, Doc, if you could trade places with one person, who would that be and why?
I would trade places with the President of the United States. And I'm going to tell you why, because once you're the President of the United States,
yes, sir,
you get Secret Service protection for life. For life. You get health benefits for life. You get a salary for life. And you don't have to do that. So one day, once I raise that hand, the Secret Service is driving me around in black Lincoln Navigators, Tahoes. So if I could change.
President.
Oh, yeah, I'll take the president position.
All right.
Now, just for one day now.
One day.
I don't know about more, but one day.
Well, how do you balance work and life? You're a busy man.
Yeah.
How do you balance work and life?
I live every day. My job is not my job. It's my life.
Your life, right.
My family is not my family. It's my life. Everything is, when it gets to the point where the job is too much, I can walk away from it and not be upset. So the balance is that you've got to understand that this is almost like my ministry. I want people to see people in local government as ethical, that they're trustworthy, have values. And so I do take some time off. I like to travel. I like jazz music. I'm an avid reader. I like to read. I do a podcast every blue moon just to say I did a podcast. But I like to travel. And I'm a good dancer. I mean, I'm a good dancer. So I like to go to concerts. And although I love the Lord, I love Anita Baker too. So if Anita Baker is having a concert, I'm going to the concert.
Yes, sir.
It is because she keeps giving me the best that she's got. I'm telling you, she's giving me the best that she's got.
Doc, you wild. Question for you now. Who was your role model?
I had a couple of role models.
Okay.
My mom was a role model, but I've had U.J. Johnson, who just recently passed away. He was a very powerful influence on my life.
And not to cut you off, he the one who hired me at the college.
Yeah,
30 years ago.
30 years ago. Yeah. Very, very good. Donzel Floyd, who I believe is your frat brother, was a pharmacist that both him and U.J. Johnson encouraged me to go to Bethune-Cookman. George Tinsley. Very good influence. Also, Miss Tinsley, very good influence. And I'll tell you, my son is an influence, and that's unique. The reason I say that is because I know as he was growing up, I had to get up every day and go do something to make sure that he had a quality of life. So I'm influenced by the person that I was responsible for raising.
My Jesus.
Because I knew that I did not want him to see my picture on the front page of the paper, not smiling, but in Gradyville, which is a jail. And so that was an influence on my life too, that I was doing everything that I needed to do. And one of the biggest rewards is him and his fiance came home and announced that she's having a wit child. And I looked crazy and I'm like, well, what that got to do with me? Yeah, congratulations, you got to. And he said, I just want you to be an impact in his life like you were in mine. And if you were to do everything that you did for me, to him, I know that if something were to happen to me and his mom, he'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
And that's an influence.
All right. Well, Doc, if you had one wish, what would it be?
One wish, what would it be? I wish I had enough money that if nonprofits were to call, universities were to call, individuals who were trying to make an impact or start a business or get something off the ground would come and say, Could I have $10,000? Could I have $100,000 that I could give it to him and wouldn't even blink?
My Jesus.
If I was ever given money that was substantial, I would probably give away more than anything. You wouldn't have to put my name on the building, but it'd look nice if you did. Yeah, I want my name to go further than me. I'm gonna just be real. If I give this church in this studio, $500,000, I'm gonna have a plaque somewhere. Yeah, that $500,000 coming back. But yeah, I would. I'm telling you, if I could ever get some money. Now, if I played the lotto, I probably would win. But I can't get nobody. I can't gamble like that. I gamble on how much weight. But I could. If a person came and said, you know what, here's my plan. I want to do this, this, and this. They told me I need $10,000 in the bank. Gonna give me $10,000. I'll write the check with no problem.
My Jesus.
Wouldn't even blink. And then if it starts getting real successful, I try to invest more so I can get my money back after they've got a return on their investment. But I don't want anything from you until I know you've got a return on your investment and you're doing the same thing I did for somebody to help somebody else out.
Perfect, perfect. Well, Doc, if we bring this to a close, any closing remarks you want to leave with my listening audience? Yeah,
I just want to let them know that no matter where they find themselves at in life, you can either be an eagle or you can be a chicken. An eagle, when storms come, an eagle actually spreads its wings and rises above the storm and glides during the whole time. A chicken goes into the chicken coop. They eat everything off the ground and just peck on the ground. And when storms come, thunder and lightning, they go in a chicken coop. An eagle eats fresh fish. I mean, out the air. It flies down, grabs fish, and it dies. The fish dies in there, and it's fresh. Eagle has keen insight. So I want your listeners to be eagles and stop hanging around with chickens. It's all right to eat at KFC on Havendale at George Tinsley KFC in Polk County, but I want them to fly like an eagle. So when the storm comes,
my Jesus,
I want you to realize that you can spread your wings and you can fly, because every single day I spread my wings. When people are talking negative about me, I just spread my wings. When they're trying to backbite me, I just spread my wings. Yes. And so I got a footstool up under my desk at City Hall. And every time something's going wrong or people coming in with nasty attitudes, negative issues, negative concerns, I put my feet up, because he said he'll make your enemies your footstool. Just put your feet up and don't say anything.
My Jesus.
And watch things happen for you.
My. All right, Doc. Last question. What's the best talk show in the land?
What is it? I'm sitting on probably the best talk show in the land. It's The Word with Pastor Reggie Webb.
God bless you.
Hey, I'm glad that you allowed me to sit on this studio. So appreciate it.
Thank you, Doc. And to my listening audience, until I see you again, may God bless you real good.